Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Connecticut Latino News Opinion Plus, a monthly series airing on Fridays. This is a space for our opinions where we talk about current events and questions the Latino community is curious about. Today, we are joined by Lucas Pimentel, CEO of Connecticut Lead. The non-governmental organization works to support Connecticut Latino communities through personal, professional, and social growth. Welcome, Lucas. Thank you for joining us this week on CTLN Opinion Plus.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. I was hoping if we could just start off, if you could tell us a bit about the organization's mission and its four main pillars.
So, LEAD came out of a fight to try to open a charter school in Danbury. And then we realized that the Latino community had no voice. So, after petitions and repeated efforts, we just kept being ignored. So, LEAD was founded with four pillars: educational options. We believe that education is the most important thing for us to get ahead. So, we would like all parents to be able to choose what's best for their students, for their kids. Then the second part is a civic engagement. We want the Latino community to register to vote, to participate, to volunteer, and to be part of the community. We also have financial literacy. We know that it's a very important thing for our community to be business leaders and owners, and we want to help them optimize that and achieve the financial freedom they deserve, or the American dream. And then finally is Latino history and culture. We feel like we have been left out of the history books, so we are working arduously to make sure that not only our own community, but the broader community knows the contributions of Latinos to the United States.
Absolutely. That's a great variety of resources and services. Um, so, Connecticut Lead was founded pretty recently in 2019, I read, and that's only 1 year before the COVID pandemic. I'm curious at how COVID has impacted your work, whether it was immediately and more long term, how it's influenced maybe your organization's work.
So actually, we even newer than that. The 2019 was when I drew the logo on on a napkin and had a T-shirt and just had a group of parents kind of discussing that we should create it. But our official start date is June 28th of 2021. That's when I was able to secure some grants, some funding, and actually launch what Lead is now, open our community center and begin. So in about 28 days, we're about to celebrate the first year of our existence as an actual organization. So COVID before that, I think that's why it was almost in the planning stages, because it was really hard to meet with people. It was really hard to get to face. So we were able to plan the idea, the pillars, what we wanted to do, our objectives. But we officially started June 28th of 2021.
Gotcha. That's definitely impressive to create, to collaborate during such a time where how we usually communicate and see each other is completely changed. Congratulations on coming up in a year. That's exciting. I was wondering if you could talk about one of the pillars, since you mentioned it's advocating for educational equity across the state. I'm wondering, in your opinion, why it might be specifically important within Connecticut, and if the pandemic might have intensified or create more awareness about these educational disparities between Connecticut communities.
Yeah, we believe that the Latino community usually has bigger challenges than traditional communities because of the language barrier and because many immigrants do not understand the way the system works. And that only became worse during the pandemic, when a lot of immigrant families had to try to navigate the technology and so many other things that ended up making them falling even less behind. So all the indicators show that we are usually at the bottom in reading and math. In the city that where I'm at, our headquarters at in Danbury, 50% of the ELL students are dropping out. And
Uh,
that's always pretty high. Like kids that are trying to learn English, half of them are dropping out of school. And it's something that you don't see mentioned many times, or a priority and by a lot of our elected officials. And it's something that we want to make sure we shed some light on it, that we are losing many of our youth, and many times their path ends up being, low income jobs or prison. And we really want to make sure that education became our number one pillar, so we can start finding solutions. And we think the solution has to come from our own community, because we understand them better. So we do need more educational leaders, superintendent, people in places making the decisions that understand all of the intricacies of our communities. Because right now, I feel like the people that are deciding for us don't understand us.
Right. That's absolutely, that's really well said. Thank you so much. Definitely a huge part of the process, and education is just the start. I was also hoping if we could talk a bit about how your website's mentioned, and you just mentioned as well, that Connecticut Lead is conducting or has conducted voter registration drives as a part of the civic education work that you've been doing. I'm wondering, how's this been going, and how important is it to reach diverse and different communities across Connecticut once again?
Yeah, so part of our civic engagement is to make sure that people understand that they have to actively participate. It doesn't matter what party, it doesn't matter in what capacity, but you have to. And we believe that the right of citizens to vote, especially all of the new immigrants that became citizens, it's important. So in 2008, I worked for a campaign called Tu Voto Si Cuenta by then Lieutenant Governor Susan Bisowitz and the Obama campaign, and we've registered thousands of Latino voters. And now LEAD has turned that into one of our main missions to constantly ask our base who's not registered to vote to register and to vote, to teach them the importance of exercising that right, right to choose our leaders. Because that's one of the things that's happening, we realize in our community, that many of our members, they vote in their countries and they're very involved in the politics of their countries, but they're not here. So we've been re-educating people, especially immigrants, to relook at how they've been participating, because they can't just come here and just work and think back to their home countries. They have to vote, they have to have a voice, because that's the only way that the society and our children is going to have the resources and the representation we need. So it's been going extremely well. We're actually kicking off in the next couple of weeks a full-on campaign statewide to try to make sure that as many people as possible have quick and easy access to navigate, how to register to vote. So it's something that we're very proud of.
Gotcha. That is very exciting. Your organization, it offers a variety of courses, including programs on financial literacy and Latin American history and culture, as you mentioned. I was just hoping to get a few details for our audience, such as who can apply, who would you encourage to apply, are they online or in person, are they free?
So the first thing we did, again, because we're only 8 months old, was we
Right.
we started a pretty massive headquarters right in downtown Danbury on 358 Main Street. So we have a pretty large community center. In this community center, we offer ESL classes to hundreds of parents, and they're completely free. We follow the same as the high school schedule, because we know a lot of times parents want to travel and do things in the summer. So right now we're wrapping up. Then we start back again for the fall semester. But anyone can just apply. There's usually forms online and on our website, so they could also just show up to CT Lead and apply to take English. We have Empoderamiento de Mujeres, Women Empowerment, that meets every Saturday morning. And that's an amazing group that really provides women with all the tools they need to succeed. And that group is also free 9 to 11 on Saturdays. We have Mujeres Conscientes, Hombre Conscientes, other groups that's more about mental health and having a holistic lifestyle to make sure you have that support. Then we offer a variety of clubs, especially now for the summer for parents that they don't have much for their kids to do. That includes dance, arts and crafts, photography, everything that we do at the center. Now, because of the grants we've gotten, it's free, so we've been given to those resources. So now in Danbury, we have that set. And what we're doing is we're opening up new community centers in other cities. So this month already, in 3 weeks, we're going to be ribbon cutting our other community center in Norwich, Connecticut.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to be at Foundry 66 on 66 Franklin Street. And that's going to be an amazing new project. And then by September, we're also going to open up another center in Bridgeport. So the idea eventually is to have a center like this one in every city, so that we can duplicate those programs and continue to serve the community.
That's pretty quick progress. That is definitely exciting, and yeah, that's an amazing goal. Accessibility will definitely be. I mean that that will be creating so much accessibility. I'm curious that some of these courses. Would you say that they're good for not good, but uh, anyone could come in with any sort of level of English or Spanish?
Yeah,
Uh,
for English, what we do is we give them a placement test, and then we decide if they're on level one, level two, level three, and we just continue to all levels. We haven't started yet, but once people get to that final level, which is almost like college prep, they want to be able to validate whatever career they had in their home countries. We're eventually going to add a final level, which is now getting people ready, for composition and to pass some of the composition classes and to be able to have a college level for English. For now, it's mostly level one, two, three, which is from basic to more proficient. But eventually, as that group moves on, we're not just going to say, go home. We want to support them in case they still want to continue and further their education in the new one, which will be a professional English that we offer. But now we created a new group called the Mosaic Coalition, which is a lot of the non-Latino groups were kind of complaining that we're doing so many amazing things. They wanted to also be part of it. And I know
mhm.
that when you have an organization and the first name is like Latinos, you know,
Yeah.
feel like, well, that's just for Latinos. So then
Mhm.
in Norwich, we're actually starting tomorrow in a little press release. We're launching it in Norwich first, just because somehow it fit there. And we had really diverse groups. We had, Sikh, Jamaicans, Haitians, all kinds of groups already that was part of LEAD. So we're creating a Mosaic Coalition, which is now to bring all of these groups together with the same kind of idea of the pillars and everything else, but for non-Latinos. And the idea is to do everything that we're doing for LEAD, but in reverse. So instead of teaching English, we're going to teach Spanish and Portuguese, right? And we're going to do a lot of intercultural things. It's almost like a new LEAD, but for everybody else that's not Latino.
That's really cool. Wow, that's very interesting. Definitely branching out to other communities, and I agree with that. I mean, I'm a part of NHAJ, National Association of Hispanic Journalists, and just Latino or Hispanics. We tend to sometimes think, oh, okay, this is just this space for you, but
Yeah.
it definitely is about intersectionality. I believe in definitely reaching out with other communities and working together. I'm wondering, before we go, how could residents get involved with the organization? What are some sort of different ways volunteers would contribute, or if it's not volunteering, what else could residents do?
Well, in our website, there are links to become members. Also, you can follow us at CT Lead in all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and in all of them, they're constantly posts telling what our events are, what are we doing, how to get engaged, how to be part of it, how to contact us. They can also just call our office at 203-826-9267 and talk to us. Also, they can email us at admin@ctlead.org. And like I said, ctlead.org just as our website. So there's many ways that people can contact us and get together. And we do encourage everyone, regardless of background of ethnicity, to join this movement. This movement is about empowerment. We believe in teaching people how to learn how to fish and not just get the fish. So it's a very exciting time. And like I said, we're about to be 1 year old, but we have a presence in 6 cities, and soon by the end of this year we're going to have a physical presence in three. So we're growing, and we will like as many people as possible, including CTLN, to be part of the project we're doing.
We'll definitely be following up on your work. Thank you so much for talking with us today and for being our guest on Connecticut Latino News Opinion Plus.
And thank you for existing and the amazing work you guys doing. And thank you for inviting me.
Of course, same to you. We will work together. That's how it is. Everyone, please join us next time for another episode. For more information about our discussion today, check out our web story on Connecticut Latino News or ctlatinonews.com. Follow us on Twitter at CT Latino News and Instagram at CT_Latino News. I'm Belen Dumont with Connecticut Latino News Opinion Plus, and I will see you all next time.